Hey everybody, this is Rob Archangel, www.archangelinc.com, and today I want to answer a question that we get periodically, which is, will you market my book if you help me publish? Or will my publisher help me market my book? What will you do? How do I go about marketing my book? And it's a good question, and I want to give a little bit of a context, particularly because self-publishing authors often expect that if they get some assistance in publishing or if they find a traditional publishing house, that the marketing end is going to be taken care of for them. That they can just focus on writing and put out really great content and people will find it and they'll get paid for it. And that happens periodically, but far more often you are going to be responsible for doing the lion's share of marketing yourself if you're the author, whether you're publishing on your own through a self-publishing platform or through a traditional publishing house. Several years ago, I partnered with Matt Stone and tried to get something, a manuscript or an idea of a manuscript published for him, and looked into the publishing process a little bit. And the takeaway is that part of how publishers determine whether they want to pick up a book and publish it for you is whether you have a platform or not. And a platform is a followership, whether that's social media or a website or a YouTube channel or something like that. Part of what they calculate is how many people are you likely to be able to organically generate in the sale of your book if they were to pick it up and publish it for you, if they were to give you an advance. And if they do give you an advance, the expectation is that after a certain period of time, if the advance is not met, then you actually owe them the balance of whatever that is. So let's say they give you an advance of $10 or $20 or $30,000, and in the first X number of months or years you don't meet that threshold in sales, they will actually hold you liable for that advance money. So in any event, the short of it is, whether you are publishing on your own or with a traditional publishing house, the expectation is that you are going to be out there hustling, is that you're going to be out there doing podcast appearances, doing potentially television appearances if that's sort of your medium, doing guest articles, guest posts, appearing on television shows, on radio programs, anything like that. You're going to be out there with, your feet to the fire, trying to hustle and draw up interest in your book. Now, a traditional publishing house may be able to help a little bit. They may have a little bit of a marketing budget to help take out some ads in newspapers or have a team that can put out a press release in appropriate periodicals or newspapers or that kind of thing. But for the most part, you're going to be doing most of that on your own. So for that reason, we, as a self-publishing company, encourage you to be thinking about your own platform, building your own platform, marketing for yourself. Now, there are a handful of things that we can do to help. With respect to listing on Amazon, there are a handful of things that are really important for your marketing. The first is going to be your title. You want to have a title that is useful, that's interesting, that's not ambiguous or hard to decipher, and you want to have something that's going to speak very directly to your target audience for the most part. Now, if you have a huge marketing budget, for example, in your Malcolm Gladwell, you can label something Blink or David and Goliath, and people will catch on and know what that's about. But if you're a first-time author and you have a book out there that's called Killing It, and another one that's titled 7 Easy Steps That You Can Take to Work the Day Trader Game, let's say, the latter is going to be a lot more effective in finding and identifying your target audience and maybe building a little bit of traction. So the second thing in terms of marketing that we can do and do help with is the cover. Now, you want your cover to be appealing, you want it to be interesting, you want it to be professional and artful. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking, it doesn't have to shatter the conventions of the genre. In fact, usually you want it to follow the conventions of a genre because you want it to be immediately identifiable by people in the arena, in the target audience that you're trying to reach. The next thing that goes into that, assuming you're listing on Amazon, is going to be your book description. And the key thing to remember here is you're not really describing the book, you're selling the book. You're interested in demonstrating to the prospective reader what the book can do for them, recognizing and responding to any potential objections that they can have so that they are more inclined to take a risk and take a chance and actually hit the buy now button. And finally, the fourth thing with respect to the Amazon listing that really helps in marketing is the number of high quality and verified reviews. And you can do that by soliciting the input of your readers at the end of the book. It's very common to say, hey, if you like this book, please take a minute or two, share your thoughts. It really helps me reach other readers. And we encourage all of our authors to do that. And you can personalize it and customize it to your own benefit so that you're speaking in a voice that's authentic to you and still encouraging people to gather some reviews. So having a lot of reviews and a lot of recent reviews that happen on a rolling basis that are current and from people who are actually buying the book, helps Amazon do more of its organic marketing on its own, because it demonstrates to Amazon, hey, people are buying this book, people are interested in this book, we should put it in front of the eyes of other people, because if other people see it, there's a good chance they're going to click on it, and if they click on it, there's a good chance that they're going to buy it. And that's ultimately what Amazon is looking for in terms of its marketing. In terms of other aspects of marketing, there's deciding the keywords and categories that your book is going to show up in, and again, soliciting those reviews, making sure that you're relatively competitive within your field, making sure that you match up your field with something that is with a category that you're able to compete in and ideally show up on the first page of. We have a bit of information about that on our Kindle marketing course, which we can make available. I'll have the link down below. We also have a free marketing services PDF that I will link to as well, and you can check that out. But I just wanted to share a little bit on marketing your book. I would say the biggest thing to keep in mind when you're an author is you are your own marketer, you are your own promoter, you're building your brand, whatever that brand is, and you should be thinking about producing high quality content on a rolling basis to get people interested, and not just expecting that you can publish, once a year or once a decade, hit the button, and all of a sudden the money's going to be coming in forever. You're going to want to work on a continual basis to get your name out there, to get your work out there, and get people interested in what you're doing. And over time, with consistent quality content, that sort of success that you're looking for becomes that much more likely. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. I look forward to helping out as best as I can, and thanks for watching.